Welcome back to Edgemont Elegance, everybody. We're week 61 and I am so excited to take you through this house and show you some of the amazing things going on here. We've got railings, we've got tile, we've got door hardware. There's a lot to show you, so stay tuned. Let's dive in and check things out. So we now have our railings in here and beautiful metal wrought iron style spindles looking magnificent. The top cap here has been stained to match the floor. So we actually take a piece of the flooring to our stain shop. Actually, our railing guy does. They take a piece of the flooring to their stain shop and they color match the stain to the floor so it looks exactly the same, which I think is a really, really good detail. I think it keeps everything looking uniform and beautiful. So yeah, I obviously am a big fan of that. We've got a really, really clean and simple newel post here. Again, this is what the clients have designed. I think it looks really, really classic. Very, very nice and very, very solid, which is what everybody wants in a newel post. Of course, you know, if you have young kids, they tend to like to swing around the newel post on the way up the stairs. Strongly discourage that. Strongly discourage that. Good luck to you on that, but strongly discourage it. Moving into the primary bedroom here. I don't know what you think, Kyle, but I would say that that would be a very uncomfortable bath to take. Don't feel like that would feel really awesome. But nonetheless, the team is working on getting this sucker installed so that we're all done. This bathroom is very, very close to complete. All we are missing are mirrors that are gonna be going boom, boom. Then we've got some sconces of some sort going above each of the sinks. So we've got a double sink. We've got these beautiful chrome fixtures here. Absolutely beautiful. Really like these sinks actually. Very, very nice. Really shallow. Total toilets looking magnificent with the tile behind it, the marble tile behind it. I mean, this is a really exquisite looking bathroom, I personally think. And I really like the crown molding details that the team put together at the showers there. I'm really looking forward to touring this house when we're getting ready to let this client move in. We're close. And honestly, folks, the only reason why we don't have more people here and that we're not pushing harder to get this home 100% finished is because of BC Hydro. You know, we're dealing with all of the different elements of what goes into building a home. You're dealing with local government bylaws and regulations and building codes. That's painful in and of itself, but we're now with the electrification that everybody has been marching or banging their drum on, 8 or 9 months waiting for BC Hydro to get the hydro hooked up because they have to redesign it. So I'm just gonna float that out there. Everybody, you can tell me what you think in the comments, but I'm telling you, the full send electrification may not be ultimately the best choice. Sorry for the rant. We're here in the primary bedroom, and this is a main floor primary bedroom. This is how this house was designed. These clients want to be able to age in place and live here for the rest of their lives. So this is their bedroom on the main floor. No stairs for them. Absolutely beautiful sliding doors, all painted, now finished. We are, I mean, again, right? We could easily start pulling up all of this floor protection. There's no need really for it to be here other than there's a few odds and sods for the trades to get done. But I mean, we're so close to the finish line. It's not even funny. Kyle says these cabinets were in here last time. I'm gonna say he's probably right. So we've got, I'm assuming his and hers, and we've got drawers. Lovely. There's obviously some additional work going on underneath these suckers because I can see some wires down there. So I'm not sure what sort of exquisite details Gleb and the client have in store for us, but that's going on there. What a nice walk-in closet. It's perfect. Don't need anything more than that. Lots of short hanging, boom, boom, boom. A little bit of long hanging here for those longer dresses or jackets or whatever. So really, really nice. It'll look even better once it's all cleaned up. Okay, so here we are in the attached garage of this home, and we've got the slat wall in here. And you'll recall that we didn't put any drywall here. Clients decided, smartly I might add, to put slat wall here, so now they can just hang whatever they want, wherever they want. And so this is what a slat wall attachment might look like. And so it's got a hook up here, and then this holds the bottom in place down here. Pretty neat. I'll tuck that guy back in. It's pretty heavy, actually. So that guy goes in like that. And then the bottom just kind of does its own thing. And just like that, once these screws are tightened up, boom, you've got your bike storage. And I think this just works by folding out like that. You put your front tire in there, and life is good. Nice, clean, organized storage for your garage. Garage Guru, they do a great job. They're expensive as hell, I'm not gonna lie. Like, they're not cheap to work with, I'll tell you. But they do fantastic work. You know, we've got this beautiful epoxy floor now. We've got the Slatwall. There's all sorts of additional attachments that are forthcoming. Again, if you're thinking about having a really well-organized garage, give the folks at Garage Guru a call. They'll take great care of you. They do really, really good work, and they're a pleasure to deal with. Okay, so here we are in the powder room. It's a very spacious powder room. Lots of counter space, more than any powder room I've ever done. But hey, that's what they wanted. That's what they got. So looking fantastic. Again, I really like this black marble surround in here. I just think it adds like a really, really nice detail to this space. So I'm looking forward to taking everybody through this house once we've got all the floor protection out and we've got everything cleaned up. In here, I think the only thing that changed since we were here last time, Kyle, is that we've got the faucet installed and the sink installed. I don't think either one of those were done the last time we were here. So those are ready to go. You'll see that the guys have left the protective film in here still, in case you decide to ask me why is the sink white and silver. This is just a protective film that'll get pulled off once we start cleaning the house up, but we're not quite there yet. We are at the landing here, and you'll see that this does not match this. Well, in order to attach all of this stuff together, they put a plug in here and they do their best to match the grain. And so what will happen is they have a painter that will come and they will touch these areas up, restain them all, and this will look absolutely mint once it's all done. So it's just part of the process. Looks a little ugly right now, but that is obviously not how we're gonna leave it for this client. Homeowners, don't move stuff in until your contractor tells you they're done. It just gets in everybody's way. Please, do your contractor a favor. We're not trying to drag things out. We're not trying to make things take long. But you know, when you have stuff dumped in the middle of a hallway, now everybody has to walk around one way or the other. It slows everybody down. Deliver the furniture when the house is done, please. So here we are in one of the en-suites. Sink, faucet are in, looking great. Obviously covered because there's some more work going on in here. The clients decided to change the paint color on us. So, you know, there's that, happens. Okay, so you wouldn't necessarily notice it unless I pointed it out, but you will notice now that this handle on this side is chrome, and this handle on this side is either brushed nickel or stainless. And so the reason for that is all of the fixtures in the bathroom are chrome. This particular client, which I actually really like this detail, he ordered specifically chrome hardware to match the chrome. So like when the bathroom door is closed, everything in the bathroom is chrome. I think it's a cool detail. I really, really like that. Even sometimes the best of intentions can have adverse consequences. So I saw that, I'm thinking it was actually people from my team taped this key, which is really not that special. It's just what you put in this hole here to be able to access the room if the door is locked and you didn't intentionally mean to lock it. But they've attached the key to the door handle without putting anything protective between the key and the door handle. And so while this for sure will make it very difficult to lose that key in this instance, what will happen is this is going to potentially scratch the door handle and cause us issues. So let's go ahead and remove that right now, shall we? Let's put this someplace where it isn't going to damage anything. Somewhere where it's not going to damage anything that matters. Okay, so it's going to be a very rare occurrence in my content that I flame a trade partner, because I just don't think it serves anybody's purpose. But I got to be honest with you, Colonial countertops have been a train wreck to deal with on this project. I would strongly encourage you to find anybody else on the planet to supply and install your countertops and bathroom surrounds if you're using Decton. I mean, I have to admit that once the work is finally done, it's decent, but the pathway of getting to finally done involves a lot of trips or additional trips to site. Like, it's rarely ever one and done. There's always a piece missing. There's always something that doesn't quite go to plan, whatever the case may be. I don't know. I don't know if I'm being too hard on them or not. I'll be the first to admit it, but this is the second of as many projects where we've had delays and issues. And you know what? If you're doing construction work, Colonial Countertops is probably a great company to avoid. If you've got doors that are 50% of the opening always in place, I feel like it could be a struggle to use these drawers. What do you think? I think that's a thumbs down, yeah. Fortuitously, we were not involved in the design of these suckers or anything like that, so this is just an oops by one of our beloved trade partners. But nonetheless, this is gonna have to get fixed because obviously there's gonna be a door to almost exactly right here at all times, so you'll never be able to pull this drawer all the way out. So they're just gonna have to remake a couple pieces and shift things around to make it actually work for these closets. And that's actually every closet in this basement suite. So sucks to be them. Okay, so here we are down in the basement suite. And I mean, what an absolutely magnificent basement suite we have going on here. We've got an over-the-range microwave. OTR is what we would normally refer to this as in the industry, just stands for over the range. And so this is a microwave and it's also a hood fan, 2-in-1, and that is all ducted to the outside so that it is ventilated in here and you are not smelling what is being cooked. Beautiful range, dishwasher, nice size fridge for a basement suite, I would say. Now, we're gonna talk about this in the kitchen upstairs, but let's talk about it right here, right now. This is a message to you pot light manufacturers out there. Stop making these fucking pot lights with 1/8 of an inch trim on the outside. Like, is it too much to ask for at least 1/4 inch? Like, holy shit, guys, you have to have some sort of super precision Scud missile type hole making apparatus. Like, basically the only way that you can make a pot light like this work is if you use a goddamn hole saw to make the hole in the ceiling. Find me a drywaller with a hole saw. They're all using zip tools to make the holes in the ceilings. Like, pot light manufacturers, do us builders a favor, please, for the love of everything holy. Stop with the goddamn 1/8 reveal trim pieces. Give us at least 1/4 inch, preferably 3/8. I mean, yes, it might look like there's more metal around the outside of the hole, but my God, these things are an absolute nightmare for drywallers and builders and electricians alike. Nobody likes these pot lights. Stop making them. Make pot lights that make sense. Busy kitchen. Got work going on around me, but let's have a quick spin through. So we've got the cooktop here looking beautiful. We leave the protection off a little bit so that people can see that there's a cooktop here and not to put stuff on top of there, in case you're wondering. Now, hood fan. Looks magnificent, and you probably can't tell from the camera right now, but when our installer was installing it, a tool slid down the top of it, scratching it. And you know, you're working with good people when they call you and say, hey, I messed up, I damaged the hood fan. And so we work together to come up with a resolution. It's probably going to involve replacing the hood fan, but be that as it may, we want to make sure our clients are taken care of. And God, do I love it when a trade partner gives us a call and lets us know that they've damaged something. I hate it when people hide that stuff and don't let us know that there's an issue. So as much as I would rather there not be any damage, and the power just went out, as much as I wish that there wasn't any damage at all anyways, I'd rather know about it. So be a good trade partner. If you mess up, let somebody know. Because guess what? The only people that don't make mistakes are those that stay at home and do nothing. Remember that. That's a wrap on today, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our content. I really appreciate it. So does Kyle. It keeps him employed. Listen, in the meantime, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. That would make me very happy. And if you have a custom home you've been dreaming about, we would love to be your partners in success. You can phone us, you can look us up on the web. Either way, reach out. We'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, stay awesome. Talk to you next time. Bye now.